Hello, everybody. Welcome to Life in Germany, episode 11. And I'm sorry this is late, like most of the episodes are. However, hopefully it will be enjoyable. Because today, I was going to do 11 random facts about Germany. But 11 is lame, so I'm not doing 11. I'm doing 99. And yeah, it took me a while to round these up, and even after that while, some of them are still kind of lame. But here we go. Number one, $1 will currently get you 77 euro cent euro. I've heard it said both ways. Also, just note that I didn't practice this, so it might, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to shut up. Number two, they don't have €1 bills like we have $1 bills. They instead have 1 and 2 euro coins, which is kind of cool. However, they also have 2 cent as well as 1 cent coins, which really seems stupid to me. I mean, who's going to pay for obvious reasons? You know, you don't just have pennies lying around, just pennies. You've got pennies that are like double pennies, and they're just annoying. I wish they didn't exist. Cent is still cent in German. They say cent. Most cell phone plans will charge you 9 cents per minute or text, but you never pay for incoming calls or text. So someone could text you the entire first chapter of Harry Potter in 1 sentence segments, and you wouldn't pay a penny, which is really nice. It's also good because you need that money to pay for public bathrooms, because usually you have to pay like maybe 50 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents, something around that to get into public bathrooms. But that's good because it helps to keep them clean. So, okay, big number time. Germany has over 150 castles, over 300 types of bread, over 400 zoos, roughly 35 dialects of the German language, over 1,000 types of sausage, over 5,000 types of beer, and 1,662 Olympic medals. These numbers, these last ones, I could also write as this. So yeah, the commas changed to periods because Germans switched the usage of commas and periods in mathematics and numbers and things like that. I've also noticed that, like in math class, if they're going to quickly compute something using pi, they only use 3.1, not 3.14. Also, it seems like Germans like to write their ones as upside down V's. Moving on. Germans consume, not consume, the second most amount of beer in the world at 0.3 liters per person per day. Second only to the Czechs. Yeah. The longest German word, and I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but it has something to do with ships. It's like it's a sub-association of an association, and the sub-association isn't even proven to have existed. But yeah, here's the word. It's pretty long. Be kind of funny. Like, where do you work? Oh, I work at the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is 80 letters. Yeah, and I don't really know what it means. It's just something about association. Number 20, 1/4 of Germans, Americans claim at least partial German ancestry. Number 21, on the autobahn, the speed limit is on LED displays that change depending on the traffic and weather. Number 22, 65% of highways have no speed limit. School stuff. In my school, you can choose between technology, French, or finance for one subject. I chose technology. And music, art, or cooking for another. I chose music. You can take knives to school, and this isn't like what it sounds like. If you bring a knife, even a sharp knife, to lunch to cut your food, you will not get expelled. In fact, probably no one will bat an eyelash. I remember in first grade, I think, at school I used to go to in America, I got in big trouble with one of the teachers for bringing a plastic apple cutter to school. what am I gonna do? Like push it on someone's nose? I really don't know. But yeah, it seems like they've got a lot more common sense in respect to allowing knives in school. Well, I don't know. Most students use fountain pens. I got one too. They're pretty legit. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that here and why it's not like that in America, but they just do. Just the way things work here. They only put their index fingers up when raising their hands. I am assuming this is done to avoid looking like you're hailing Hitler, but that's just my guess. They have lots of breaks during the year. 1 or 2 weeks of break every 6 to 8 weeks of school. But on the flip side of that, they only get about 6 weeks of summer break. Not all areas in Germany have the same days off, though, because down here in the south is predominantly Catholic, so we get Catholic holidays off all the time, whereas in the north it's more Protestant and Lutheran, so they have different days off. Transportation. Speeding tickets hover around 40 euros. That's the same for using public transportation without a ticket. Like if you get caught, you'll get charged 40 euros. You have to have a driver's license to use a Segway. And companies sometimes offer Bond Card 100 cards instead of company cards. They give you total access to public transportation anywhere in Germany. And the ability to hop into an electric smart car wherever they're available. That's what I've always wanted. Not. But yes, usually these cards would cost, I think, 5,000 euros a year. So you can get a free taxi here. Now, this is a very specific circumstance, but let's say you have a monthly pass or one of the Bond Card 100 things, and your train is late. If your train is late and it's going to make you late, the fact that it is late is going to make you late, you can get a free taxi. I'm not entirely sure how that works and how the taxi driver makes sure you aren't just lying, but that's what I hear. Food. Germans are not into peanut butter, which doesn't make much sense to me, since to me it's like the sweat and earwax of angels. It's so amazing. Or spicy food. I mean, yeah, there are Germans that like spicy food, but it doesn't seem quite as popular as it is in America. Wine and bottled water are much cheaper here. Much, much cheaper. And plus we have this thing, I should have made this a fact and got rid of some of the stupid ones I've got. But they have this thing called Pfand, P-F-A-N-D. And when you buy bottled water or wine or whatever, and once you're done with it, you can take the bottle back to the store or to the chain you bought it from and get a certain amount back. So in the end, I think a liter or two, yeah, I think 2 liters of bottled water costs maybe 25 cents. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. Many, if not the majority of Germans prefer their water carbonated. Yep, did not see that coming when I moved here, but they like it bubbly. Each region has its food specialty. The wine and pretzels are particularly here good in Stuttgart. I wouldn't know much about the wine, but the pretzels are pretty awesome. And reportedly the beer is better in München. The pretzels are really cheap. They only cost like 25 cents at Lidl, which is similar to Aldi if you've never heard of it. And in most places on the street, they cost about 60 to 80 cents. More food stuff. You can buy soft alcohol at age 16 and hard alcohol at 18. If you were invited over to dinner, it is traditional to give your host a bottle of wine. I'm not sure what the tradition is for someone who doesn't drink alcohol here in Germany, because I don't think there are many of those people. Bakeries. They are literally everywhere. I mean, 5 on one street, and we're talking not a very long street. It's ridiculous. But they're all good, too. That's the funny thing. I have not come across a bad bakery, I don't think. And I've been to a lot of bakeries. I'm getting fat on bakeries. Lunch is typically the main meal of the day, and it's also usually hot. So every day at school we have a hot meal, pretty much, for lunch. Supper is usually eaten around 8 p.m. and is light, frequently consisting of cold cuts, sandwiches, stuff like that. Misha is crying outside my door. She wants to come in. Funnies! The Christmas tree tradition comes from Germany. That's not funny, but what's funny is that O Tannenbaum means fir tree. So, we sing the O Christmas Tree song. And the original version of that song is O Tannenbaum, and that means fir tree. So if you can just imagine saying, oh, fir tree, yeah, that's what's funny. Oktoberfest starts in September. In World War II, a German submarine was sunk by a broken toilet. I'm assuming this means that a toilet on the ship broke and water leaked in, and not one of those horrible straight ocean toilets hit the submarine. JFK said "Ich bin ein Berliner" when he was in Berlin in the 60s. Now, the funny part about this is it's also associated with a myth. Berliner, "Ich bin ein Berliner" is perfectly grammatically correct for saying I am a person from Berlin, or yeah. However, there is also a pastry named after the people of Berlin, so it's called the Berliner. Now, the rumor is that when he said this, he was laughed off stage because people thought he was calling himself a pastry. But see, that'd be like a president of the United States referring to, for example, to John Adams, and everybody thinking he was instantly thinking that he was talking about the naval ship. You don't do that. You think of the person first, obviously. So when he said "Ich bin ein Berliner," everybody got him. No one raised an eyebrow. It was, yeah. Holocaust denial is a crime. I just find that a little funny, because who cares if someone denies the Holocaust? There's a brand of wine called Trollinger, and I don't know how many people will get that joke. The German word for fat, as in a person, is dick, and it helps if you pretend it's spelled D-E-E-K. Unfortunately, the word for shower is douche, and that's exactly how it's pronounced. The history of Adidas is funny because I'm going to tell y'all a story. Y'all ain't going to believe this. That's how Southerners start their fairy tales. But once upon a time, these two brothers, Adolf and Rudolf, not Hitler, Adolf and Rudolf Dassler, they were living near a river together, and they started a shoe company. But then they had a little spat. They got mad at each other. I don't even know why. And they broke up. And then they separated. They got separated as brothers. And Adi Dassler started Adidas. And in America, we're the only country that calls it Adidas. Everybody else calls it Adidas, as in Adi Dassler. What's extra funny is that his brother started Puma across the river. Okay, story time's over. It is an unspoken rule among mothers that babies must wear hats in the sun. You got to keep the little baby heads sunburn free. Okay, 64. Most Germans speak English, at least weak English. Most taxis are Mercedes. Only 2% of all Germans do not have cell phones. Statistics. Germans mostly use 24-hour time, so if you want to say 1 o'clock, it'd be 13 Uhr. Berlin is 9 times bigger than Paris and has the biggest train station in all of Europe. What happened here? Oh, I know what happened here. Germany borders 9 countries. Ready? Austria, France, Switzerland, Denmark, Luxembourg, Holland, the Czech Republic, and Poland. I must have left one out because that's only 8. I don't know what's going on. Germany has the largest economy in Europe, which is, I've been reading this economics book, and it's pretty interesting because after World War II, the country was basically just, I mean, people were so poor, it was basically going back to the Stone Age. And within 25 years, they had a booming economy, and I'm not sure how long it's been this way, but for a while now, it's been the largest economy in Europe. In 1916, Germany became the first country to adopt daylight savings time. The first book ever was printed in German, and that's because the printing press was invented by a German, Johannes Gutenberg. You can visit his museum in Mainz, Germany. I have a video of us going there, and I took pictures in there, even though you aren't supposed to, but I didn't post them. Oh yes, I did. They're in the video. Yeah. German is the third most common language taught worldwide. I'd be interested to know what the second one is, but probably Spanish. No. I don't know. When you rent a house, you still buy the kitchen. So when we rented our house, we own the kitchen. We don't own the rest of the house, but we own the kitchen. And when we move, we can decide if we want to take that kitchen with us, like literally just rip it out of the wall and put it in the truck and take it with us, or to sell it to the next tenant. I don't know why they do it that way here, but they do. The weather here changes very quickly, and all Germans know to be ready at all times for rain. So I'm not a German, but I keep an umbrella in my backpack because a lot of days I'll wake up and it'll be nice and sunny outside, and by the end of the day the weather's horrible. Let's see. Yeah, Germans do not answer their phones with all these fancy schmancy things like, "Hello, you've reached the Walton household. You're talking to Sarah Walton. How may I be of assistance?" No, they pick up the phone and say Walton, or whatever their last name might be. Unless you're answering to a person you already know and you know it's them, that's how you answer the phone. Most places don't have air conditioning, but that's okay since they only have about 2 months of summer. It's already getting kind of hot, but according to Germans, it's very unusual to be this warm already. It is illegal to leave your cat or dog at home alone for more than 24 hours. I don't think many people obey this rule. I don't think many people care. Z and Y are switching on the German keyboard. Gets a little annoying for me. Hymn number 345 of the Red Trinity Hymnal is sung to the tune of the German national anthem. So go sing it if you want to support us. There's a TV tower downtown with a restaurant in it. And it's super cool, but it got shut down before it could open because it's a fire hazard. Because, if a fire got lit up there in the kitchen, no one would be able to get out. I really think we should just, put a couple of rappelling lines and just, if it lit on fire, we can just have everyone rappel down. Or a water slide. That'd be a good way to get everyone out. Porsche is based in Stuttgart. If you look real closely at the Porsche logo, it says Stuttgart right above the top. There are cigarette vending machines all over the place, easily accessible to anyone of any age. My brother knows people in the 6th grade class who smoke. Yeah. It gets especially cold every May, and anyone who's lived here for more than a year knows that. It gets unseasonably cold for about 2 or 3 weeks every May before it gets warm. Windows can be open wide or just tilted in depending on which way you twist the handle. You can see this in either of my house tour videos, but it's pretty cool. We also have the Rouladen, which can block out all outside sunlight. So those are pretty nice too, especially in the summer when the sun is up till 10:30 or 11 at night. There are almost no doorknobs. I think I've seen 2. One in the entrance to the computer room at school, and actually, I don't even think that was a doorknob. I think it was just there so you could have something to hold on to. I don't know. But, yeah, either there are little or no doorknobs here. Or water fountains. I told my friend I told my friends at school what water fountains were, and they really had no idea. But then they had this breakthrough, and they realized that there was one place that might have a water fountain. So houses don't have closets because they're taxed based on the number of rooms. So if you have a closet that counts as a room, you get more tax. So instead they use trunks. Germany uses 220 volt power. This is one of those lame facts I was talking about because I bet most people know about this. But the sockets are recessed into the wall, so it's harder to kill ourselves. I was wondering why they were like an inch back into the wall, and a friend told me why. Most things close early Saturday afternoon, so 3, 4 in the afternoon, everything starts to get slow and shut down. And basically nothing is open on Sunday. It's pretty cool.
Would you like to watch the third Lord tonight?
Maybe. I'm recording.
Oh! What's up, YouTube?
I'm editing this part out.
Gotcha.
Get out.
He said, Mom, he said maybe.
Germans are always working on the roads. Yeah, maybe it's just to give people jobs, but they don't follow the rule. If it's not broken, don't fix it, because they're always fixing the roads. Yeah. Kids don't use training wheels, and this is... I'm going to go on a little rant here. Germans do not give their kids training wheels. Instead, when they're really little, they give them these bikes with no pedals. So what happens is they put their feet on the ground and they push themselves along with their feet. So as they get better at that, they can start picking their feet up off the ground. And then they can push themselves with their feet and pick their feet up and leave them up. And they can turn with their feet up and not be touching the ground. So by the time you give them a bike with pedals on it, they have no need for training wheels because they already know how to ride a bike. Rant over. They sing the happy birthday song in English. So someone had a birthday in my class, and I was getting all excited to hear what their little ritual was. But nope, they just sing the birthday song in English. They don't like to show off their homes. Unless you're really good friends with the person, if they invite you over for lunch, it's not polite to ask to see you around or even to compliment it. It's really quite strange. It's not polite to say, oh, I really like your kitchen, or, something like that. Unless you know the person very well. I don't get it at all. Just the way it is. Fact number 99. I like it here and you should come visit me. That is a true fact. So do it. Alright, I think that's all. If that is, maybe there's another slide. Yeah, the end slide. Because you just watched 99 random facts about Germany. Thank you for watching episode 11 of Life in Germany. Please come back next time. Hopefully I can get the next one released on schedule. Sam out.